News Alert, I'm Jackie Ibanez in New York. President Trump and First Lady are walking down from Air Force One now, being greeted there by the military there in China. It is the third stop of the Trump's 12-day Asia tour. Mr. Trump and the First Lady, they're scheduled to meet with President Xi Jinping and Madame Peng. The two couples will begin by having tea in the Forbidden City and take a tour of the complex. Looks like they're being greeted right there. China's Forbidden City dates back to the early 1400s and was the Chinese imperial palace from the Ming Dynasty to the end of the Qing Dynasty until 1912. After the pleasantries there, President Trump and President Xi Jinping are expected to get to work, holding talks on North Korea and trade. Trump and Xi Jinping got along well during a meeting in Florida last April, you may remember. But trade could turn out to be a bit of a sticky issue for the two of them. The White House has accused Beijing of failing to keep promises of to the U.S. Last year, the U.S. trade deficit with China was $347 billion. That's with a B. As a result, the Trump administration raised important duties on some Chinese goods. Some analysts doubt that President Xi Jinping will give in on trade to appease Mr. Trump enough during his two-day visit there in China, which you're just seeing the beginning of it if you are joining us. He just got off Air Force One and is now going to his motorcade where he will go to the Forbidden City. North Korea could also be a bit of a tricky issue for the two leaders. President Trump has pressed Beijing to take more forceful measures against North Korea, while China has urged Washington to cool its rhetoric and open a dialogue with North Korea. China also has a big financial stake there in North Korea, as you know, since it's Pyongyang's chief trading partner. With Twitter being one of the social media platforms blocked by Chinese censors, many have asked what that means for President Trump and avid Twitter users. As we know, President Trump loves Twitter. He goes on it constantly. We've been told he will be able to tweet during his visit there. Once again, the president just getting off Air Force One there in China. He will meet with President Xi Jinping and his wife. They are headed to the Forbidden City. In just moments, they will get into the motorcade. Right now, they're being greeted by all the dignitaries and the military there in China. It is the third stop of Trump's 12-day Asia tour. Mr. Trump and the First Lady, they are scheduled to meet with President Xi Jinping, Madame Peng. The couples will have tea, and then they head to the Forbidden City. Now, a little information on the Forbidden City. It's there in the heart of Beijing. It's about 15 million visitors each year, covers nearly 180 acres of land. The complex consists of about 980 buildings, so it is just huge there. It's known to have the largest collection of preserved ancient wooden structures in the world. The Forbidden City name, now it's called Forbidden due to the fact that no one could enter or leave the palace without the emperor's permission. Once again, they have about 15 million visitors since 2012. Now, it looks like President Trump and Melania may be in there, or the car is pulling up to get them. Hard to tell. Once again, they've been greeted by dignitaries as they walked off of Air Force One. But of course, stick with Fox News Channel for more highlights from President Trump's visit to China. We're going to go back to Hannity, which is already in progress. Have a great morning.
That threatens with nuclear devastation. All responsible nations must join forces to isolate the brutal regime of North Korea, to deny it, and any form of it, you cannot support, you cannot supply, you cannot accept. We call on every nation, including China and Russia, to fully implement UN Security Council resolutions, downgrade diplomatic relations with the regime, and sever all ties of trade and technology. It is our responsibility and our duty to confront this danger together, because the longer we wait, the greater the danger grows and the fewer the options become. And to those nations that choose to ignore this threat, or worse still, to enable it. The weight of this crisis is on your conscience. I also have come here to this peninsula to deliver a message directly to the leader of the North Korean dictatorship. The weapons you are acquiring are not making you safer. They are putting your regime in grave danger. Every step you take down this dark path increases the peril you face. North Korea is not the paradise your grandfather envisioned. It is a hell that no person deserves. Yet, despite every crime you have committed against God and man, you are ready to offer, and we will do that. We will offer a path to a much better future. It begins with an end to the aggression of your regime, a stop to your development of ballistic missiles, and complete A sky-top view of this peninsula shows a nation of dazzling light in the south and a mass of impenetrable darkness in the north. We seek a future of light, prosperity, and peace, but we are only prepared to discuss this brighter path for North Korea if its leaders cease their threats and dismantle their nuclear program. The sinister regime of North Korea is right about only one thing. The Korean people do have a glorious destiny, but they could not be more wrong about what that destiny looks like. The destiny of the Korean people is not to suffer in the bondage of oppression, but to thrive in the glory of freedom. What South Koreans have achieved on this peninsula is more than a victory for your nation. It is a victory for every nation that believes in the human spirit. And it is our hope that someday soon, all of your brothers and sisters in the North will be able to enjoy the fullest of life intended by God. Your republic shows us all of what is possible. In just a few decades, with only the hard work, courage, and talents of your people, you turned this war-torn land into a nation blessed with wealth, rich in culture, and deep in spirit. You built a home where all families can flourish and where all children can shine and be happy. This Korea stands strong and tall among the great community of independent, confident, and peace-loving nations. We are nations that respect our citizens, cherish our liberty, treasure our sovereignty, and control our own destiny. We affirm the dignity of every person and embrace the full potential of every soul. And we are always prepared to defend the vital interests of our people against the cruel ambition of tyrants. Together we dream of a Korea that is free, a peninsula that is safe, and highways connecting north and south, of cousins embracing cousins, and this nuclear nightmare replaced with the beautiful promise of peace. Until that day comes, we stand strong and alert. Our eyes are fixed to the north and our hearts praying for the day when all Koreans can live in freedom. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Korean people. Thank you very much.